Hello and Happy New Year. I hope the new year has welcomed you with health and happiness. And if you are interested in what's happening in the Northwest Indiana real estate market, then I encourage you to continue to watch this video as I briefly recap what we saw in 2024 and more importantly, take a look ahead at what we can expect into our 2025 real estate market here in Northwest Indiana. Now, 2024, we continue to see a strong market in Northwest Indiana real estate. We did also see a shift back towards more of a traditional market as homes did start taking a little bit longer to sell in a lot of our communities, but that's expected coming off those historic markets that we saw in 22 and 23. Homeowners, you continue to see positive home value appreciation on your properties. Again, not as rapid of growth as we saw in 23, but it was steady positive appreciation through the majority of our communities here in Northwest Indiana. That also means you as homeowners most likely saw some significant equity gains in your properties as well. So if you haven't checked your home values in a while, you're probably going to be pretty surprised at your current equity position. So I encourage you to do that. A lot of clients and friends and family I talk to are really surprised when we talk about their current home value and their equity gains in their properties. We also continue to see strong buyer demand throughout a lot of our communities. This is fueled from a job relocation and continued migration from surrounding states that are continue to be attracted by our quality of life here in our communities here in Northwest Indiana, along with our strong school systems and lower tax bases than they have in those surrounding states as well. So that is always positive as we continue to see that strong buyer demand come into our markets. The other thing that was really exciting here in 2024, moving into 2025, is the continued investment and development in our communities here in Northwest Indiana. When we see those shovels in the ground and those cranes and those buildings going up, that's really exciting because what comes with that is jobs, and the money follows those jobs and people relocating into our communities. And that just continues the growth, continues to bring those values up in our communities as well. So that's really exciting to see the investment and development throughout all of Northwest Indiana right now. It's really exciting times to be living here and just see the positive way that the outside investors are looking at Northwest Indiana. Again, just really exciting times to be here in Northwest Indiana real estate. Moving forward into 2025, I predict it's always hard to predict. Nobody has a crystal ball, but again, I do not expect much of a change in 2025 as far as real estate goes. We should continue to see a steady, strong market moving forward. And we're going to really be driven by the 5 I's. And those 5 I's are interest rates, inventory, insurance, improvements, and AI, artificial intelligence. So we'll get into each one here separately, starting with interest rates. Again, I do believe we're going to have a strong market going forward. How strong a market we're going to have is going to be dependent a lot on these interest rates. And while, again, nobody has a crystal ball, looking back this time last year, a majority of experts predicted that we'd be in interest rates at 5% already, and that just didn't happen. We did get down close. I think we briefly broke 6% interest rates on average kind of mid-year and really got excited, really saw a shift in the market at that time. And then they quickly went up again. So we are actually finishing the year with interest rates higher than they were last year. And that's even with some cuts in the short-term rates as well. So I expect that volatile roller coaster to kind of continue moving forward into 2025. Again, looking back and reading and listening to a lot of the experts and economists out there, they do expect interest rates to eventually settle into that high 5, low 6% rate. And they expect that to kind of be the new norm going forward in that range. When we get there, though, that's the $1 million question. My prediction, it's going to be a couple months before we see rates shift as investors wait to see the new administration come in and set their economic policies and see how the markets react to those economic policies. So probably a good couple months before we start seeing some positive shifts moving forward. My advice to you, if you're buying or selling a home, is don't try to predict the market. Do what's in your best interest at this time. Too many years history shows us in real estate that if you try to predict the market, most people end up losing value in their move, regardless of buying or selling. So again, do what's in your best interest. Don't try to predict the market. But again, economists and experts do predict interest rates to come down throughout the year and eventually settle in that 5 to 6% range. So inventory is the next one. That's the other big one. You know, we continue to see low inventory in Northwest Indiana. Now, I know a lot of people are driving around. They see the new construction going on and wonder how we can have low inventory. Well, we have a lot of people that would like to move, but they're sitting on a 3%, 4% interest rates. And it's hard to give that up when you're looking at moving and taking on a higher interest rates. We also have as I mentioned earlier, we're struggling at those lower price points, under 300,000, for example, in a lot of our communities where a traditional starter home may be priced at, or I guess that's fairly high in my opinion, under 200,000 or 225,000 or 250, where entry level home buyers can get in at. We're also struggling to see homeowners who currently own a house and want to downsize, into maybe a half duplex or a townhome, but those affordable properties aren't available either. I have quite a few clients that are looking to downsize, but they don't want to buy a new construction at 300,000-400,000. They want to save some of their money for retirement moving forward. So, if we had some more of those downsize type properties in under 300,000 come on the market and become available, I think we'd see our markets kind of rapidly adjust to that and move quickly. So again, if we had more inventory on the market and those interest rates come down, then the strong market that I'm predicting in 2025 would be even better. So inventory, interest rates, those are two of the biggies moving into 2025 that we'll be keeping an eye on. That will also help with affordability as well. Insurance. This is one that a lot of people aren't talking about right now, and I think should be getting more of the headlines. We're not seeing it as much yet here in the Midwest, Great Lakes region, but I've certainly seen it in our, especially in our auto insurance bills. But a lot of people I talk to as well are seeing their rates and their homes go up as well. It's really affecting more along the West Coast, East Coast Gulf states right now, where insurance companies are trying to protect themselves against the natural disasters that they keep paying out on. And while we're not immune to natural disasters here in Northwest Indiana, we're not seeing the increases that they're seeing along the coast and again, the Gulf states here, but it's something to keep an eye on. One thing that we do need to keep an eye on here in Northwest Indiana that I have seen as far as insurance goes is roof conditions. This was kind of a surprise to me here in the last year on some properties where older, not even older homes, or homes with older roofs or roofs that show a little bit of wear and tear on them, insurance companies are refusing to cover if they're not replaced or repaired prior to closing or within 30 days after closing. So this is coming as a surprise and a shock to a lot of homeowners who are go under contract and all of a sudden like, wow, I don't have the 20,000 it's going to take to replace that roof here in order to sell my property. So moving forward into 2025, if you are a homeowner who's thinking about selling your house and your roof is, 20 years or older, or you notice that you got a lot of granules wearing off there or some wear and tear on that roof, it's probably a really good idea. Not probably, it is a good idea to start budgeting to replace that roof, or at minimum, have a licensed roofer come out there and certify that roof's condition prior to putting it on the market. Again, that's for roofs that are older than 20 years. Again, insurance companies are really kind of balking at covering those roofs there on those properties that are older. The fourth I that we need to talk about are improvements. Home buyers are really looking at homes right now that are well cared for and or updated with little or no improvements to be made to the properties. They are dealing with a lot of out-of-pocket expenses up front, higher interest rates, down payments, etc. So they don't have a lot of wiggle room to, a lot of times they'd go in and just buy the property and then improve it as they go. Well, they don't have those out-of-pocket money anymore, so they want to move into properties that, again, are well cared for or updated already, so they don't have those out-of-pocket expenses. So again, if you're looking to if you're looking to sell your home in 2025, make sure that you talk to your realtor to discuss what improvements can be made to help you sell that property quicker and easier in 2025, because most buyers are looking at maybe not top quality improvements throughout, but kind of moving ready, well cared for homes here in Northwest Indiana for 2025. The last one I want to talk about real quick is artificial intelligence. I know this is kind of weird when we talk about real estate and artificial intelligence, but it's something that is coming on quickly. I'm sure if you haven't experienced it already, you will soon. I read recently where companies have invested over $1 trillion in artificial intelligence over the last year. So it will be coming down the pipeline. Actually, it's already here. It's just going to continue to improve throughout the year. It's rapidly improving. How does that affect real estate? Well, we're going to start seeing it affected as far as the pace of closing, be able to close quicker, quicker turnarounds on appraisals, quicker turnarounds on underwriting, just a lot of, it's going to help expedite the process a lot of ways. Now, the negatives to artificial intelligence is we always have to be wary of fraud in real estate. And this is where we're going to have to make sure we continue to do our due diligence. And you're going to want to make sure you're working hand in hand with a realtor here moving forward into 2025 if you're buying or selling, as artificial intelligence improves. They've from wire fraud to title fraud. These scammers are going to find new and better ways to use this artificial intelligence to help commit fraud in the real estate industry. They're already talking about how artificial intelligence is getting close to be able to mimic person's voices. So in the past, if we're talking about maybe you got an email about something on a potential wire fraud and like, oh, give me a call. Well, now these fraudsters can be like, hey, give me a call on this number, mimic your realtor's voice, and it can get really, really ugly quickly. So we're really going to want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence when it comes to protecting ourselves from fraud in 2025 as the advancements in artificial intelligence continue to rapidly increase. So again, to wrap up real quick, 2024 was a strong market. I expect 2025 to continue to be strong here in Northwest Indiana. Again, there's some inventory and interest rates concerns that if they go the right way, the favorable way, our market is poised to really take off here in 2025 again. So now it's time. I'd love to hear from you. If you bought a home or sold a home in 2024, comment below, what were the positives and negatives of that experience? And also, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in 2025, what are the things that concern you moving forward, and how can we best help you achieve your real estate goals in 2025? So leave the comments below. Love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in 2025 and need some advice, I'm always here for you. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.